Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Build live from Oak Hill Works. How are we all doing this evening? I hope you are well. Tonight we are going to try and get trains running on South Park Quarry. I'm quite excited by the idea that might happen. I think we should have an impromptu vote right now on who thinks it's going to happen. So go down there. Hit like if you think that we will get trains running tonight. Hit dislike if you think we won't get trains running tonight. Yes, that is genuinely how I'm doing this poll. I do have a controller in here. I do have a couple of locos in here. I do even have some wagons in here. And my trusty shunters poll for doing my free links. So, in theory, we have everything we need. In theory. So, what do we have left to do? We have some points. We have some track here between the points and the slip. We have two sidings off here. And we have a now slightly moved loco storage road. You can see it did run off this way originally. I have shifted it forwards because I've had plans. I did start without you. You'll have to get here earlier next time, Sophia. How are you doing this evening? I hope you are well. So for those of you who are really unobservant, I picked up a back scene at work this week. So we have a back scene running around the layout. I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks quite good. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I think it looks quite good. It needs to be cut down. We've got about 2.5-ish inches of additional height there that we don't need. But that can be stuck down once it's done. Having the back scene on made me start thinking about our fiddle yard entrance and how we can hide it. And I thought I'd move this forwards and then we could put an actual shed building over it. And I hear someone wants it to be made a clapboard. That's certainly a possibility. So a shed building here to partially hide it and a couple of trees. Fiddle yard exit hidden. I think that works. What does everyone else think? Looks quite north-south downs. It does, doesn't it? That's what I thought when I was looking. It is a Gauge Master 1, GM 701 to be precise. Which they call it a valley, but yeah, it definitely looks more north/south downs to me, which I thought was quite appropriate given the area. But who would want that? I've no idea. No idea at all. I think it sounds like a good idea though, so we might go with that, you know? But yeah, so the first thing we need to do is get the points installed. And you know, because I was really clever last week, we haven't got any droppers on it like we should have. Can't believe I did that, but there we go. Get them installed and then we can cut our bit of track for here and get our sidings on. In theory, we will get trains running tonight. I hope we'll get trains running tonight. I mean, I've got this thing sat here for should trains be able to run. Because I'm sure some people would want to see that going. I've also got my specially done for this layout packet. So it would be great to see something move. Soldering iron is heating up. I suppose we'd best get some cable ready. Okay, all the track from last week is now stuck down. Soldering iron is making a burny smell. No, I haven't dropped anything in there. I don't know why it's making a burny smell. No, I didn't misplace my wire strippers. That was you. And don't do it again. Always need flux when soldering. It makes life so much easier. So, Sophia, how is the C-Class? Does it run? Or do you have to come and visit me on Tuesday to make it run? Bending each of those. Soldering block, red at the front, green at the back. Front is currently at the back. And a nice, definitely not overly rigid wire standing itself up there. So again, as we did last time, we put the point down where we're going to want it. We can then mark with the pen where all these holes go and drill them out. Still fettling the things. I haven't soldered the wires back onto the motor yet. It looks good, which is the main thing, right? I agree, that is the main thing, and it does look very good. It is very smart in black. I hope my I honestly can't remember what I did. Here's a photo post was helpful. And evidently I saw a black one on eBay the other day for £120, so you've done well. And that was just the starting bid. Look at that, the cable went through first time. This one, on the other hand, did not. Mine's about £40 so far. That's pretty good. I think that's about what I paid for mine in total. In fact, no, I will have paid less. Well, look, I definitely didn't forget to turn my phone on to silent. It wasn't that good of me. Has that gone through? That is the question. It is now on silent. Oh, I think it just about has. If it's enough to get grip on it, another matter. No, definitely not. He says before trying anyway. No, not a chance. And look, the chatbot. No, you hit the technical difficulties button with the layout. Why do you people always accuse me of these things? So yeah, the bot wants you to smash the like button. So do that. Broke the stream. Yeah. See, the problem is, this here is my controller for doing the different scenes on the live stream. And just there, at the top of the layout, is a big one that says technical difficulties. Oh, I didn't plan on having it within nudging distance of a layout when I built it. There we go. You're doing it, sorry for being late, was having pudding. Droppers, I approve of droppers. Good evening, James. How are you? I trust your part of London isn't too wet this evening. Because I've seen some videos and they don't look nice. I am well, thank you, and fortunately unflooded despite torrential rain earlier. I am glad to hear that, and I am also well, thank you. Excited to be back working on the live stream and hoping to get some things running on it or running on the layout this evening. I do know words and whole sentences. Excellent, I approve of the Gary being well. I approve of your approval of me being well. I definitely approve of things running. I did at the start of the live stream say we should have an impromptu poll and that everyone should vote on whether they thought I'd manage it using the like buttons, and that everyone should click like if they believe things will run and dislike if they think they won't. I, of course, can't actually see how many likes and dislikes there are, but I'm assuming it went in favour of likes, obviously. Even if I did forget to get my Sharpie back out this evening. I approve of approval, infinite regress. Excellent. We can end that one there, that's good. Right, let's get those lined up with each other and marked with the Sharpie. Currently winning 8-0, assuming that the like meant you were going to get things running. Excellent, that's what I like to hear, and that is indeed what I wanted likes to mean, whether everyone else wanted them to mean that or not. I'm glad people have faith, even if they don't. So time for those wonderful noises again, everyone, with Javier's favourite tool. And no, I don't mean me. That a Southern Green Sharpie? No, it's way too bright for Southern Green. Oh. No, no, no. There is some remnants of LBSC goods green on my scissors, though. No, it's too bright even for that. I'm amazed at how it shows up on the camera. Actually, I haven't adjusted the brightness. It's sort of a lime. Good evening, Great Northern Six. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. I am not cutting using just the blade. I am using a handle, most definitely. And anyone who says I'm not is a dirty liar, and you should never trust anything they say. Just so we're clear. Point for malachite. Is that even a colour? It is, and it rhymes. How are we all this fine Sunday evening? I am very well. Thomas, how are you this evening? I hope you are well. We are going to have to cut down this one a little bit more. Out there should do nicely. Because thank you, I am very well, Tar. There we go. That came off wonderfully. I'm a bit annoyed. I was trying to get you that error code, and I think my graphics card has gone. Yeah, no, can't get an image to show up on either monitor now. That was a sad face blue. That was after a sad face blue screen occurred. That is not good. I do not approve of that. That meets with a strong disapproval. Yeah, I disapprove of graphics card going, yes. Although, if it is the graphics card, you do now know what's wrong. So, there's that. Really looking forward to Carrie pronouncing that. It's not happening, Tom. And how are you this evening? I hope you are well. Sometimes I have to say no to pronouncing things, which is surprisingly often, actually, now that you mention it. I only want 2 of these, not 3. Because both of these want to be insulated. Seriously seems to be having bad luck PCs at the moment. That notebook I got for 20 quid was working before. Put the hard drive in and now my desktop has gone funny. Not my week for PCs. Well, I mean, the first one could be because you got it for 20 quid, just saying. I'm good, replacing FP film. There are more fun tasks available. Such as... Because, you know, I'm laying track for an audience. Although this week we do have the excitement of, will we get trains running tonight? And I really hope so, because I've sat here during pre-stream and stuck some couplings on a load of wagons so that we can have them. Most tasks are more fun Necessary though. Yeah, it does sound like a necessary job. We also probably want to add droppers before we start actually sticking it in place, don't we? I'm getting this all wrong tonight. And I'm sure it is somehow someone else's fault. Right then. Soldering. Blame the rain. I'd love to blame the rain, but we've not had it like you have. I mean, we've had some, don't get me wrong. But not a huge amount. I went out in a t-shirt earlier. The solder's working, but it didn't have a hard drive. The screen saying, put a hard drive in me, came up fine. Just after putting the hard drive in, it decided it didn't want to play ball. Did it actually say put a hard drive in me? Because that doesn't sound very much like a computer. Well, I also ordered Jason two bodies to practice hacking up into a T class. All your fault, Gary. I approve of doing that, but you know, you could have come to the shop and I've got two for sale. You don't have to blame your rain, you can blame rain elsewhere. Ah, fair enough. I will blame the rain in London then. And, you know, whoever upset which god to cause said rain. Oh, look, there's a link to my Twitter account. Go follow me on Twitter. And whilst you're there, find the shop. I retweet everything it tweets. And follow that as well. The shop's on its way to having more followers than me. 3 weeks after having a Twitter account. I've had one for 6 years. Just saying. Totally not bitter about that or anything. People obviously don't realise Twitter is me. It's paraphrasing. It's more computery than how I put it, but can't remember exactly what it said. Well, that is what I... well, let's be honest. I knew that, but it was much funnier to ask the question. I say, it was once my job. Difference is that the shop sells model railway delights. This is true. That is, of course, why more people want to follow the shop than me. Well, not yet. They don't. I'm still winning at the moment, but it won't be long. And in fact, has sold model railway delights on Twitter. Once had a job asking funny questions. How did you get that? Wow. Yeah, yes, that's definitely what I meant. It's not that I meant my job used to be computer repairs. But for those that don't know these things about me, I used to own a computer repair business, had a shop, had a couple of shops actually. Well, I don't tend to advertise my tech skills too much anymore, except for all over YouTube where everyone can see it because people ask technical questions of me. And I'm not about that life of answering technical questions anymore. But yeah, the graphics card died in the desktop. I have no idea how to check as I don't have a spare one to test, and the motherboard disabled the built-in ports once the graphics card went in. Take the graphics card out, and the motherboard should, on its BIOS startup, its post checks during the BIOS startup phase, should automatically re-enable the onboard graphics card because it detects there not being an external one. That is how you test that. You all hope you're all well. I am indeed, Alexander. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Sounds like a tedious life. Imagine you're happy now, surrounded by model railway lights. Ah, but you see, at the shop, we used to have this thing every single day called Mini Christmas. Mini Christmas would be when the postman would turn up with model railway stuff for me. So, you know, where have I put that? Seriously, where have I put that pen? It's not under the layout, is it? I mean, that is genuinely a possibility. It is not. I approve of Mini Christmas. Mini Christmas was great. I'd be sat upstairs in my office and the internal phone would ring. And I would say, Joe's Taxidermy, you snuff them, we stuff them. And be greeted by the words, Mini Christmas. And people would get very confused. Someone turned around and said, when you answer the phone like that to us, how do you know it's us and not a customer calling? I've got a different ringtone for the internal line. Very well, thanks. Bought a new toy as well as returning to travel on Knoll again. Indeed, I saw you showed me your new toy and it was a great new toy. I very much approve of new toys that are in the shape of terriers. It tries more annoying, it's broke. Because I have to go back to VGA monitor, one secondary screen, just get an old laptop screen. It's a driver board too. Yeah, but you know, at least if it turns out it is that, you will know it's that, and you will know what you need to replace. Caller ID. No, just completely different ringtone for internal calls. So I didn't even need to look at the phone to avoid making that mistake. Because the problem is, Thomas, all the things you're describing wrong could be the motherboard rather than anything else. So, you know, that'll be fun for you. If only we had a third dropper, it'd be like War of the Worlds, wouldn't it? That is as far as you get of me whistling that tune because, you know, copyright strikes. Did you know if you get a single copyright strike on YouTube, you are banned from live streaming? So if one day I'm whistling or singing and suddenly the stream just goes completely dead, you'll know what it is. Well, either that or YouTube will be like, no, enough of that. You're killing everyone's ears. Yes, I've heard of that abuse from this live stream, I believe. Well, you know, I do like you to know how bad YouTube treats me. Can you? I've got a copyright strike and we still live stream. Yeah! In their terms of service, a single copyright strike can have you banned from live streaming. So I prefer peer and tube. As I say, the last time I looked at PeerTube stuff, it very much said they do not support live streaming. And that kind of like, well, that's a no from me then. No. That's red paint on the cork. Red paint, definitely. Yes, red paint. I mean, I realise you can't actually see it because, well, I hope you can't. It doesn't show up on my preview. Good evening, everyone. Apologise. What I said about Bluebell last night was wrong of me to say that they don't care. Good evening, Heritage Railway Productions. How are you? Apology very much accepted. But I will get all defensive if people say stuff like that because they really are a railway that do care. YouTube does support live streaming, I believe, but this may be fairly recent. Well, it must be because I don't think it was that long ago I looked into it. Oh, for goodness sake. I hope it's not enough board. It's a pain to replace from what I've heard. I think this point probably just get a new desktop. May have to get your advice on it though. My advice is always there for stuff like that. That is not a problem. I definitely look into new computers with the amount of money you're talking about spending. Or even second hand. This dropper is too close to the end of the track. There we go. Got it. I don't live stream, so my model rail video channel Diode.zone consists entirely of edited videos. Yes, and very nice videos too, James. I always enjoy when you do videos. Mine was in the background 5-second clip I uploaded as unlisted, so maybe it's different. Maybe. It may well be. Well, thank you. Hope you are too. I am indeed, other than the red stuff that people keep noticing. Supposed to keep the red stuff inside. Indeed, I am supposed to keep the red stuff inside. I think it is now staying inside. I have returned from the doctor. Hello, healthy people. Hello, Javier. You have returned whilst I am covered in red stuff. Time is great. I see. It is indeed. You've got red stuff on you. Yeah, definitely red paint. Definitely. Obviously, feel his name I'm not sure about was something like Shaun of the Dead. Shaun, Shaun of the Dead. and a fantastic film. One of the best zombie movies ever made, up there with George Romero. Plus, I don't need one with an OS built in. I already have a hard drive with one built in. That made that changing a motherboard can stop your operating system working. It's not as common anymore, but it is possible. The next video will be on Stay Alives. Excellent. I look forward to it, James. It is indeed from Shaun of the Dead. Hydration is important, everyone. Shaun of the Dead, one of the greatest zombie films ever made, and in fact up there as a part of one of the greatest film trilogies ever made. So, you know, there's my opinions on that. Trilogies, what were the other two? The other two were Hot Fuzz and At World's End. It was the Cornetto trilogy. No, not post-apocalyptic mall shenanigans. Shaun of the Dead, not Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead, another amazing film. Preferably the original over the remake, though. As with all of Romero's stuff. Never even heard of the third. Were those films connected? In no way whatsoever, other than the fact they were made by the same people, starred the same people, and in each one they had cornettos. Other than that, no, not in the slightest. Which is quite confusing for a trilogy, but yeah. There we go. Much better. Now let's get my cables pulled back down through. It's hard to tell just where that red cable on that one's supposed to be. Someone put a big blotch of red stuff on it for some reason. Right on the cord, right next to the hole. It's rather awkward. Oh, forget that, right. I'll be back in a second, folks. I need to go put a plaster on this. I am back with medical supplies. I assure you this is not actually a pack of children's plasters. It's regular plasters. I'm going to scroll back up so I can see the chat whilst I do this. Never even heard of the third. What the films? Yeah. Prove your opinion of the Cornetto trilogy. They're fantastic. Made by some very funny people. Simon Pegg is incredible. The layout has been christened with the red stuff. It has indeed. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz were incredible. World's End I thought was garbage, honestly. I mean, obviously At World's End was the least good of the three, but it's still a great film. I do like the original, I suppose, connected in the same way Carry On films were connected. Yes. It was in PPE because eyes are important. World's End gets better after watching it a couple of times. Still isn't as good as Shaun and Hot Fuzz. Yeah, agreed. Barely made it through one viewing, let alone multiple ones. Ah, Alex, give it another try. You must. For me. So has PP always been that response? It has. Kind of funny. Why did they only make the 3? Because they did. Always been the response. Never seen it, so I can't comment. To me, it felt like it was written by completely different people. I didn't laugh once, but that's just me. Yeah, give it another go. It wasn't a trilogy then. Good point. No chance. Oh, come on. I was right about the Walking Dead comics, was I not, Alex? Not heard of At World's End. So it's nowhere. It is not as good. It is the weakest of the 3, but it's still a good film. Hot Fuzz traumatised me when I was younger. That one scene with the church spire. It's a great film. Some franchise has been milked to the ground. True. Watch Shaun and Fuzz any day, happily. Do that as well. Now, to get back on with this layout, these are not all the way through yet. And the Cornetto trilogy isn't really a franchise that you can milk. Nobody tells me nothing. It amazes me some of the actors they get in these spoof films, him included. He's such a funny guy. But I don't think of him as an actor usually. World's End was all in the background details. I mean, yes, you really have to notice the background details in that film. There's so much detail and thought into absolutely everything in it. It's fantastic. Quite like World's End, although I do still need to sit myself down in front of Shaun of the Dead. Well, you know what? It's not often I say this, but go and watch that film. Just go, Thomas. Go and watch it. The World's End, At World's End, Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, okay, The World's End. What? The same thing. Let's be honest. Hydration is still important. So anyway, we made it 113 live streams before I had to do this. Are we all impressed? Because I am. I want to stay on the stream. Oh, fine, stay then. I hate when these get their tracks in all funny positions and the rails aren't through evenly. This is what I get for being a haemophiliac. I'll tell you what, the cut on my thumb is absolutely tiny. But could it just stay nice and not completely destroy me? No, that would be too much effort. I have to bleed out. It's still all over my finger. And in fact, my whole hand lays on that finger as well. All over the layout. I don't know how much of that you can see. How much restraint did you need not to lay the track, all the track before tonight? You know what? I have been so busy with repairs this week that I didn't even get around to gluing the track until yesterday. So it's been easy. Maybe, and I know it's hard, don't touch the end of the sharp thing. So, on that comment, did anyone actually notice the moment I did it? Because it was quite a while before anyone actually mentioned it that I did it. You've previously been told by your audience to get a blood clotting agent. Do you not listen to us? Clearly not. I saw it, but you seem to be fine. Fair enough. I thought I was at first as well. I did nearly razor saw into my finger the other day. Amateur. Next time you're at the shop, I'll show you some of my scars. Razor saw into the finger is just amateur. Honestly. Good evening, Red. How are you? In one piece, I hope. Never noticed anything. I think Mother wanted me to get a screenshot of the phone. When it was noticed, I heard the noticing though. Fair enough. I managed to stab my finger with some code 40 rail while making a turnout last year. Ouch! That sounds really painful. I nicked myself a couple times. Generally, I wear cut-resistant gloves. Name is fitting for what has just been occurring. Yeah. Okay. I put myself hot glue the other one. That was fine. Careful with tools and slice my hand open trying to remove Dalek gun turret from the scope. So I'm on to talk. Yeah, fun. You managed to injure yourself. I did. Look, I'm in a plaster. I really can't wear gloves because of my long nails. Having seen those nails up close, can confirm I would not be putting gloves over those. That just wouldn't work. Doesn't do it after the stitch it back up. So for those that missed it, it was when the little bit of rail that we've got here. When I was cutting this chair away, I slipped with the knife. As I was going away from me, I slipped with the knife, went straight up through the end of the finger. So yeah, if you missed it, now you know. And if you want to see it, you can go back and find it. Not painful, does not sound fun. No, it was not. It was a very sharp ouch moment. My nails have been longer than when you saw them. I'll be honest, I did think that the first time I saw you post a picture of them on RM Web, they looked longer than they were in person. But I chose not to say anything. Done that with a chisel for that hurt. Yeah, I can imagine. This proved very sharp ouch moments. Look, never mind the very sharp ouch moments. It's the blunt ouch moments you have to watch out for. Once upon a time, this is the bit I want, not the bit I was just playing with. Once upon a time, in my youth, I think we've had this story before. This was my only screwdriver, and I was trying to screw something in with it. And I was holding it here, and I slipped. Went down, went straight into my thumb with the screwdriver, and out the other side of my thumb with the screwdriver. I assure you, the blunt ones hurt more. Getting told off at work. This prove outright generally well. Yes, the Scarlet's worst of it. Although occasional crampings when doing modelling and things does happen occasionally. Nothing I can't shake off. Clearly don't appreciate a figure like that. Sounds very ouch indeed. It really it was very very ouch indeed. Yeah. So obviously when that happened, I wrapped my finger up, put a massive leather glove on, and carried on, as you do. Blunt impact is much more dangerous because that's when you break things. Yeah, yeah, that sounds horrid. It was. It was one of those moments of, oh my god, I did not realise you could do that with one of those. Show must go on. Indeed. Most painful thing I've ever done is manage to cook the palm of my right hand. That sounds extremely painful. That's why they call you Manky Fun McGee. No, they call me that from the time I chopped the tip off, or the time I went in at a slightly different angle to tonight and made a slightly bigger injury than tonight. Because you see, I have also, on this thumb, not with this knife though, gone in at this angle and ended up a good half an inch in. I still have the scar from that one. I've shown it on stream a couple of times. I don't know how well it's shown up though. It still sounds terrible. Yeah, my thumb does not like me. Oh, I'm going to refill my hydration vessel. Yes, that is a bad angle. I also once cut this thumb. Yes, this same thumb. Whilst out on an exercise. Opening a blooming ration pack of baked beans, I think it was. Siding fits, by the way. Yeah, putting a penknife through a ration pack of baked beans and went into and caught my thumb. And that bled for over 2 days. So, you know, that was fun. Gary, you are causing me to have ghost pain. Fine, I'll stop beating up my thumb. Context, we were working in an old house. Hob was still in place, but lights were broken. One of my workmates accidentally knocked a ring on it, and I stuck my hand on it trying to paint the wall above. Ow! Broke my thumb playing basketball at school many moons ago. Yeah, see, I've never broken it. Don't think you like your thumb much. You'd get that impression, wouldn't you? My poor thumb. I have a large scar on the palm of my right hand, discoloured flesh along the base of my fingers, and the muscle at the base of my thumb has next to no feeling in it. Ouch. It could be worse. There's always something worse. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The DT rooms at school were much worse with the electric saws. You know, the table saws and the bench sanders and my early days of soldering. They were much worse. Although that was generally this hand that got those. Definitely didn't just melt the sleeper there. I don't know what you are on about. Liquid sleeper. Yep, liquid sleeper. I was, oh, Garrett, I totally crushed my left kneecap playing cricket. Yeah, that sounded absolutely horrible, that one did. It's now just rotten wood, it's natural. Exactly, Paul. Big engineering stuff is generally safer though. The danger is way more obvious. It's the little devious craft knives and paper cuts that sneak up on you. No, I did a fair amount of damage with the stuff with the big tools when I was at school. Do I need to get the bubble wrap out? Let's out of those floor router blades. Can we stop talking about injuries now? Right, there we go. The mod has said no more. So no more. Do as the mod says. And remember, ignoring the mod or winding up the mod in general is a bannable offence. You seem to be very accident prone. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but yes, I was. Might get one of the Hardy Hobbies kits soon. Excellent idea. I hear they've got a good designer, good CAD artist there. What one are you thinking of getting? Currently curled up with me. Yay for curled up fluffs with you. They will keep you safe with their fluff. One of the ones that require the exercise, so just need to buy one. But I was hoping you'd give us some more clue than that. There's so many good kits at Hardy's Hobbies. I have been tempted by many of them. It'd be great if someone donated one that I could build on the live stream. The hydration is important. I have to donate the chassis, that's the main part that stopped me getting one. Well, the problem is I'm a collector and I'm driven to complete the whole set. I mean, yeah, I totally understand that. And I could see myself doing the same with those kits. Oh, two angry cats this evening. They have their annual visit to the vet tomorrow and aren't allowed to eat this evening. Oh, yeah, I can bet they don't like that at all. Collect them all. Yes, like exactly. Hardy's Hobbies kits are now Pokemon. You've got to collect them all. Can't see the other one. I wish I hadn't lost that pen. Ah, oh, there it is. Summer in the house and Iris is sleeping on a chair at my workbench on the other side of the room. As she does every night. I almost feel like I'm asleep in the chair at my workbench some nights. Usually on a Sunday at about, say, 11:30. You already have a Peckett, you could borrow the chassis of that. Now, Tom, that's very practical of you, but you know I like having a chassis for each loco. I don't like sharing chassis. My first one might be the Foxwalk 13-inch Oh Shit So Saturday. Oh yes, that's a very nice looking one. Interchangeable chassis. Yeah, but I don't like that. I know it's a concept. I understand why people do it. I'm just not a fan of it. For my own stuff, anyway. Obviously, for other people, it's completely different. They do as they please. But I like all my models to have their own chassis. I wouldn't mind getting something that would fit on a Bachmann Junior chassis. Well, do you have a Bachmann Junior chassis to put it on then? Oh, look, there's a link to Patreon from the bot. Thank you, bot, for promoting my Patreon. Occasionally people donate to that. It's great. And it does genuinely help the stream. All the money that gets donated is spent on projects for the live stream. Donate enough and I'll buy a chassis for a kit from Hardy's Hobbies and a kit from Hardy's Hobbies, and you know, be fantastic. On that subject, I may well do that for the Dreadnought. Well, hey, what works for you works for you. To be fair, it's probably cheaper to buy the chassis and body separately than buying at RRP. I mean, I'll be honest, I have other ways of not paying RRP for a lot of things these days, Red. I'm thinking about it this time. What's the largest measurement on the non-Terrier loco mesh? Will make it loading into Chichi box easier. Also based on the contracts loco built the Whitby, Redcar, Middlesbrough Union Railway, and I'm totally not biased. No, obviously not, Paul. Obviously not. Please no Killer Junior loco. It will help my ability to collect them. Kill it. Kill it more. Of course, it's got a slightly bashed Nelly body sitting on it right now. Aha. Yes. I think I remember now. I think I've seen you've put that on RM Web, haven't you? They're not Thomas and not Percy locos off again. Go through there a bit more. There we go. That's better. Right, so I'll turn 2 Batman Juniors into a Garrett. What about that? Oh, that Garrett's fantastic. I've always been a little bit jealous of that Garrett. I absolutely love it. There it is. I thought I'd lost the sharp thing there. Right, never mind, they're both not Percy's. 5 of them not Thomas and not Percy's. I'm after the not J94s and not Class 94s. Was Dig B and his body went to a better place. I treated it. No idea. Should be sized correctly already. What Dig B? Sounds like you picked the right one to kill. At least it wasn't a terrier. Found out the Bachman James 6-wheel chassis block has a shorter wheelbase than Bachman Thomas. Interesting. The ones I need have GR blue one and the LR green one. Well, you should have got there before Sophia did. Aren't you all so glad you come along here to listen to these sounds I make? Southern logos are sacred and only get chopped up to make different Southern logos. That's fair. That's totally fair. Like that M7 that I killed to make a D3, because obviously the D3 is the best of the Southern 044s. Yeah? That's what you're on about. The ugly kit on Hardy's Hobbies requires a terrier. I know. I'm gonna lie, I did kill my first terrier, but a new version now, so it's not too bad. It is bad. Anyone who kills a terrier should be highly ashamed of themselves. You know, Gary's Home for Unwanted Terriers will rehome all these terriers. I think it's that way round. Yeah, it's definitely that way round. Never the human's far superior. Nah, definitely a D3. Those who kill terriers are sent to the shame corner. They're sent somewhere much worse than that. Much, much worse than that. Sent to spend their life riding on the Southeastern and Chatham. Think you feel differently about it if I said it had a face, which I would not feel differently if you said it had a face. All terriers are sacred. Every terrier is sacred. Every terrier is great. If a terrier gets wasted, dog gets quite irate. You're not going to have to watch now, don't you? And if you don't, then you should be ashamed of yourselves. Fair broke up trying B12 to turn into a Raven A2. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Found a Q1 collection on Shapeways, which I wouldn't mind building. What if War Department collection? Well, get on with it then. That is on that in mind when you said that. Excellent. Monty Python, another railway stop is fair game for hacking up. Yeah, definitely. Terrier is my favourite kind of propaganda. Does that not fall under PG rules? What's singing about terriers? No, terriers are fine. That's just a song about terriers and nothing else whatsoever. That song has never been about anything but terriers. Base went to a new home for several years though and it got sold and Dapple Steppers later on. You know of old Vera Dearest, that's where it went. I am familiar with that name, yes. Identify a feature is a dent in the face I caused with my teeth. Fair enough. Has all the best pop culture references this evening. Indeed. I like to think that we generally have quite good pop culture references on the live stream anyway, to be honest. Look at that, we have all the side-ins in. I mean, obviously I haven't put droppers on this one yet, but they're all in. Hydration is important. It's really warm here. I assume Gibson sells bullied wheels. I don't think Scale Link do. I'm honestly not sure. Okay, like I was saying, some models in the range include a 210. Aha. Flint, how are we all? Good evening, Killian. I am very well and definitely haven't injured myself at all whatsoever in any way this evening. Anyone that says I have is a dirty liar. How are you? Chassis that Steppers went to Thomas Bash that eventually died, still on the hunt to find a good Hornby chassis to finish off the long journey of mini Hornby Tombos. Well, there's only... You best get on eBay and buy lots then. TTT Steppers I had... I mean, not the Dapper one. Yeah, I assumed that's what you meant. Very well, thank you, and good that you didn't cut yourself. I hope it wasn't bad. No, no, it was perfectly fine and not bad at all because it never happened. There definitely aren't red patches all over the baseboard or anything. Not at all. Or in fact, my fingers for that matter. Again, anyone that says there is, dirty liar, don't trust them. No buffer bean red been spilled. No, I mean it's looking as see-through as buffer bean red. Yeah, definitely need another coat if you want it to stay there. Bullet Q1 is an 044 instead of building the leader. It's a replacement for the M7. Yeah, but I mean the leader was an attempt to modernise, wasn't it, and keep steam going in the face of the soon-to-be oncoming diesel opposition. Been through I've been through Terrier-Toby Batman chassis types. Next test is J94 chassis. That doesn't work. It'll become 2F Octane, so it won't go to waste at least. Well, you best get buying one then. Henry chassis, you just have to slap a camelback body on top. Well, you might have to say to that, don't you, Javier? That's right. Get on with it. Oh, look, the bot says hydration is important. Best listen to the bot, because hydration is important, as are terriers. Terriers are important, especially terriers on mugs. Go and buy one! Exclamation mark merch in the chat, because I can't remember the URL for my merch store. Genuinely can't, by the way. Doesn't help that Teespring have changed their name. Oh, Leader was supposed to be on 7 thing is a myth. I recommend reading Graham Muzzie's book about the Leader. Got cab forward Q1 based tank with the Leader's cab front. Yes, do it. Have they? What is it? They're just called Spring now. There is no more T in their name, and as everyone knows, you should never remove the T from things. That's how you upset the British. Halfway point, are you going to do it, Gary? Is a train going to run? I think so. And yes, we are at the halfway point, which is the point where I traditionally ask, what is everyone up to this evening? How are we all doing? What is going on? I do love to hear about your projects. Please do tell. I don't drink tea. I'm not sure that's possible. I'm hearing the words, but I don't understand the sentence. Have been improving pickups for engaged carriage lighting to make more free running. Excellent. So I was very impressed by those pictures you posted up on the Discord. I'm now trying to stop carriages from derailing at points. I approve of not derailing at points. Note to self, I am not good at hand-built track. Use Pico in future. Oh, that's a shame to hear, James. I hope it isn't actually your track that's the problem. For today's special, one RCH mineral working CAD with a side of Met A CAD. Interesting. Playing Company Heroes Europe War. Hey, excellent. Slapped a coat of white on the clapboard station building. Fantastic. Thank you. It's definitely the track. Oh, that is a shame. I am very sorry to hear that, James. Had a cup of tea in a year. Might have a nice glass of wine. Gosh, I must be French. Sounds like it. Trying to fix it with a file. Hopefully that goes well. Which is very sad to hear that it is not running properly. Sit with my cats in bed as I work on typing some stuff up for my D&D group's personal wiki. Excellent. Not doing much this evening, just off to bed now. Well, good night then, Paderborn. Sleep well, don't work too hard, and all that usual jazz. And with only one more bit of track to cut and put down, I'm pretty sure we will get trains running this evening, so you'll have to catch up on that at some point. Haven't played D&D in forever. Now, you say forever, Sophia. I'm pretty sure we have viewers here who weren't born the last time I played D&D. Are we talking that sort of forever? So yeah, there we go. The third siding is down. So now it is just the loco road here to do. Which we can't really do with these bits of flexi. So I'm going to have to get another one. I'm playing D&D this Saturday. I haven't played D&D since I was about 9. Yeah, that's sort of forever. I believe that is the sort of age that I was the last time I played it as well, James. Which is about the same time as my Engage layout is set, indeed. Has the shed road been realigned since I was here last? Yes, it has. It got realigned over during the week. When I find my Sharpie again and can mark this. What is it with me and blooming pens this evening? Okay, this one is under the layout. There we go. So, yes, the shed road. When I got the vaccine from work and stuck it on, I sat and looked at it for a bit and thought, well, how do I disguise this fiddle yard exit through a back scene like this? And I decided that the best way to do that would be with an actual shed building, which obviously made the decision about whether I wanted a shed building or not. However, because the end of the cork was where this is originally, you can just about see the marks on there. I thought, well, that's a bit close to the running line for a shed building. So I moved it forward slightly so we can get a shed building here and then potentially a tree or two up behind it in this corner that shall disguise the exit to the fiddle yard. You disguise it by covering it with the back seat. Well, yes, at the moment I do. But once I've stuck the back scene on the other hand, that might be more difficult. Currently, my character is a female Minotaur barbarian. I am not a female Minotaur barbarian, just for those wondering. But yeah, at the moment, disguising it by covering it with back scene is working really well. I'm not sure it'll work so well once I actually start playing with the layouts. But that's just a theory. A train theory. If I were a peasant, I'd say a female Minotaur is not small and give the Minotaurs a half bull rather than cow. Good thing I'm not a peasant. Well, it's got you there, Red. They're some good snips, those, aren't they? Fun fact, I have, at the shop, no tools for myself. Well, I have like one screwdriver. It's really annoying. And a soldering iron. But, you know, basically no tools. And yet, the blue tools, the blue handled tools, so these snips, all my screwdrivers, everything, I got those from the shop I now work at. Nose you're on? No, nose you're on. I do not actually own a set of Euron cutters. Never have. At some point I will. But yeah, generally doing work to locos in the shop means taking my tools from here to the shop with me. Now this one wants plastic joiners on both. And I own a pair of those. Yeah, well, I don't. Do you think if I had Euron cutters, I'd be cutting all this rail with a saw? A stupid blunt saw that I forgot to get a new blade for again this week. For that matter. Makes you feeling better, Gary. I don't have any Euron cutters either. It does, Red. Thank you. And there's a link to my Instagram. Well, hey. Did you know you can go from my stream to my Instagram to see me post updates about when I'm going to live stream? Because obviously all of you that are here watching the live stream don't know when I live stream. And that is like basically all I use that account for. I mean, I also use the chat on it to chat to people, but that's not the point. Oh, and of course looking at other people's things, but does that even count? I've paired Eurons and everybody knows I don't do real modelling. Oh, I have no proof that you don't do real modelling. I don't even know what Euron cutters are, so it could be worse. They're a bit like these, but posher and really good for cutting track. Like, you're live streaming now? Apparently so, yeah. If you've not got used to being here live and still think you're writing in the comments section after the event. Hydration is still important. My cutters are made by Hilker and they're pretty good. I approve of pretty good. My knife was made by X-Acto, as are all my knife blades. Annoyingly, we don't stock X-Acto in the shop anymore. Although I did originally buy it from there. A lot of my modelling stuff came from that shop. And I'll tell you what, I was thrilled the other day when the Eastbourne Model Railway Club posted a picture from their newly revived Engage layout to Twitter. They had, because they have modelled my shop on it. And I just thought that was absolutely fantastic. So there is now an Engage layout with a model of my shop. In fact, most of my tools are Hilker, though I do use an X-Acto knife and razor saw like you do. They are good, aren't they? Oh, I keep meaning to pick up a second handle so I don't have to swap quite as much. But you know, one day I may get round to it. I do wish someone would stop moving my tools so I can't find them every time I need them. They are good, and yes, having to is very helpful. Yeah, I can imagine it is. And I imagine it would be even more helpful if you, say, sat on YouTube doing modelling live. You know, just as an example. Oh, look, there's my phone. It's appeared on camera. There it is. Seriously, everyone, stop moving my tools. And don't catch the wire underneath your drill. And here goes the last wire. What do you reckon the chances are it goes through nicely and doesn't cause me lots of hassle? Oh wow, it has. I was not expecting that. 10. Oh, yeah, well, at least you took a guess. And there we go. Let's enjoy that for a second. That is all the track. I'm quite impressed I can get this shot. You would not believe how awkward this is. To get this shot to show everything, the camera is now sat practically against my chin whilst I'm leaning back in my chair to a degree that my hair is against the acoustic foam on the back wall. It's really not the biggest room ever, this one. Proof of success. Thank you, Red. We will now have to, sadly, remove the vaccine and my badge that has fallen down into it, because I'm going to have to put the layout like that. And I'm rather worried that if I do that with the vaccine on, I'm going to damage the vaccine, since it's significantly taller than the layouts. And I do rather like this vaccine, so I don't want to damage it. I'm not sure if we've got any more of this one in the shop. But there we go, one layouty layout. And one long load of droppers. Oh, look, you can even see the camera stand in that shot. This is the camera stand, by the way, everyone. My arm is always through under this bit, so when I'm punching the camera, I'm actually just knocking this because of the angle it's at. And now you know. I suppose now I should take these wires and start threading them through here, because this layout very nicely has holes right through the middle for you to run your cables. Are you going to braid all your wires? No. I am going to sort of neatly wire them, maybe cut them down a bit in places where I can. My wiring is not neat. It has never been neat. It has never claimed to be neat, and it never will claim to be neat. I am, however, going to refill the hydration vessel. And then I am going to knock the bottle of fizz over as I put it down, which is really helpful. Don't do that, everyone. Hydration is important. And this is going to be a really awkward angle to work at. That's... Oh, there's some... That was me headbutting the camera. That is as far back as that goes now. There's the wire strippers. So if I strip the ends off all these green bits, pull the pin out of there before I lose it. Put it in the little anvil. Touch a bit of solder onto each of them. This is so not how I normally do wiring. And it probably shows. These were all one wire once. They should all become one wire again. I mean, obviously I've gone about that all wrong. But the important thing here is to get trains running. Oh my god, I've done all that. What did anyone notice how I didn't have this through the thing? So now I've got to pull it all out. And thread it back through. Go on, be honest, who noticed and just didn't say anything? And now we're going to tape them. Because then we'll get no shorts. He says hopefully. That's why Gary doesn't braid. I don't have the hair for it. That's the main problem. No, I didn't almost just grab my knife by the blade by accident. I don't know what you're on about. Some of it down your hair. No. That would be rather hard with how short my hair is. I want to do this first. My hair is let down every day, just like, you know, everyone else who believes in me. The race is on now. If I can get all of these wired up, we can play trains for a bit, sort of. To do it properly and get trains really running well, I would need to get all the point motors in. That was never the plan for this week. That's the plan for next week, is to get this thing electrically complete. And I will be very happy if I manage that. Gosh, electrically complete in 9 hours. That's a bit faster than my engage. A little bit, yes. But your N gauge is also quite a bit larger than this layout. Right, I need to get some sleep. Night, guys. Good night, Red. Thank you for coming by. It has been fantastic to have you here. Don't forget to catch the rest of the live stream tomorrow so you can see if I've managed to get trains running. I'd advise just like the last 5 minutes or so, to be honest. But, you know, worth checking out. Just a smidgen. Yeah, exactly. You know what, I'm going to move the red one out of the way for now completely. So this time I want this one. I thought there was actually more than that on here. And this one. Where's that thing? Yeah, it's definitely track feeds. What command station do you use? Currently, I have a... hang on. Let me read the model number off it. It's a Lens LZV100 I have currently. I hope to exchange it for an NCE power cab at some point, as I have used those and got on with them really well. But for the time being, we have the big Lens command station, and the LH100 handset. And because people might have noticed I like doing things correctly with electronics, with equipment, I have the Lens power unit as well, which is an interesting one. After our discussions last week about ampage and stuff, I was looking at this to see what it is, and it is on here as 4.67 amps. However, the plug's got a 3 amp fuse in it, and that's how it came. Surely the Lens is better than a power cab. Once upon a time, I would have agreed with you, yes. But Lens seems to have fallen behind recently, and it's going to cost me a fair amount to upgrade to their newer stuff, should I want to. And honestly, if I'm going to have to pay that much to upgrade, do I want to be upgrading to someone whose updates aren't necessarily going to keep up with current technology? The power cab also has the advantage that everything is in the handset, and you just unplug the handset, plug it into the layout, and you're done. You just have that and the power, which when you've got as many layouts as I do, is quite an advantage. Yeah, being able to just have the socket in the front of each layout for all 7 layouts and just using the one controller would be quite handy. Surely the 3 amp fuse for 230 voltage and 4.5 for low voltage. Ah, good point. Good point, James. I assume so. It's all in German, so I'm not sure. Do you need to upgrade the lens? I mean, it would be nice to have the more up-to-date stuff. This is a bit lacking in features these days. Gonna have to sleep now. Good night, everyone. Good night, Paul. Thank you for coming. Sleep well. And I shall speak to you on the Discords, I'm sure, through the week. Have you ever considered DigiKey? So the reason I'm considering changing to the NCE is I have used the NCE and am familiar with it and have found it a nice system to use. I am open to suggestions of other things, but ideally I would want to be able to try them. And since it got mentioned, I just want to remind everyone that my Discord server is the greatest Discord server. It's the greatest chat server in the world and hosts the greatest community in the world with the greatest members in the world. I see no good reason to go not to go with NCE. Neither do I at the moment. Budget friendly and versatile. But I'm not after budget when it comes to my controller, James. The bot says hydration is important, so you know. Found my pen, it's under my chair. Can barely use DC, so you might as well be speaking German. Well, once I've got a layout up and running, you'd be welcome to come and try DCC at some point if you really wanted to. I'm always up for friendly group operating sessions. Darn it! This is as far as it goes. That was close. I just knocked the mini anvil off and it nearly landed on my foot. I'm not sure that one's gonna. Oh, it might just. If we pull this all the way, I might just do a second one for that bit. Friendly group operating sessions are the best sort of group operating sessions. They are indeed, James. You are quite right. DCC is a joy. So much more control with so much less work. Yeah, especially on the layout wire in front. you will notice a distinct lack of complicated, oh my god, where do I stick this wire? Why am I we cut with these ones. But also in operating, I've operated miners Great Northern, which is DC with cab control. And that involved a lot of cognitive overload. I'm sure it did, yes. You will notice if we do some wiring next week, it will be much more complicated than this because we'll be wiring the points, which I do very much still stick with analog stuff for point operation. Unfortunately, my bank account can only need DCC ready. See, that's why you try it out on other people's layouts. Unfortunately, I don't think my sound-fitted Tornado will really go too well on South Park Quarry. Or my sound-fitted 33 for that matter. And that's a real joy with DCC, is being able to do sound. You don't need DC, don't bother with it. DC is still fine system. Well, yes, Alex is quite right. I'm not a big fan of sound. I find it somewhat irritating and generally too loud, but that's a matter of taste. No, that's a matter of people not playing with their CV settings properly. Because you can turn it, it has a volume control. Not that you'd believe it with some exhibition layouts. But it does have a volume control and you can turn it down. As Alex said, DC is a perfectly workable way of running a modern railway. It is indeed. Actually, having a working layout would be an achievement for me. Don't worry, I know that feeling all too well recently. It's been a long time since I've been able to properly play trains. Now, where's the... There it is. Yes, but anything not too loud would be inaudible unless one were really close to the model. And is that not how it should actually be, though? With working layouts are the best sort of layouts. They are indeed the best sort of layouts. What you need to do, Sophia, is get one of those little Hornby controllers. Or literally any other brand that isn't Hornby, because Hornby suck. And wire up, and just stick the wires on the end of your diorama so you can run trains up and down. There we go. That is all the green wires. Now we have to go back to this side where you'll find a big soldering station now sat in the way because, you know, the cable on the soldering iron isn't long enough. Now I can get to it all. I am working towards working on my layout, but it's a slow journey. Yes. Unfortunately, that can very much be the case. Bit of PWM controller recently, I just need to dig it out. Well, get on with it then. Although isn't PWM that thing that modern motors don't really like? Look at me putting the cables together in a more proper and not so terrible fashion. Ooh, PWM, that's what I thought. See, with a connection like that, I could even potentially skip the electrical tape and actually use some heat shrink on it. Which I do also have. I'm not going to, but I could. Don't use modern motors. No, as we discussed, which is always good. But you never know, one day you might want to. Next section. I suppose I can thread this back through now. PWM is basically, the C controllers makes them all buzz. Yeah, we don't want buzzing. They're choo-choos, not flies. Okay. I wish this chair would stop squeaking. I hope that the camera's, the microphone's not picking that up, because that's really irritating. I think I shall have to oil it. Who let me forget this wire? I had that J-Class Hornby, did do the XO4, it still buzzed on the Selects 00. Well, that's because you're using a Hornby controller. Everything is wrong if you use a Hornby controller. Don't ever trust a Hornby DCC controller to be doing anything properly. Especially the Select. There's a reason none of their marketing for it says DCC anywhere. And I'll give you a hint, it's not because it's all really good and does everything as per the DCC standards. Still does it on Batman's number 10, easy, come on. Well, if it does it on the Batman one, that's a bit different, because the Batman one is actually a DCC controller that does everything as it should. Which Batman updates can have more loco number addresses. I mean, does it need it though? It is supposed to be a starter thing. You know, it gets you going with DCC, and then you upgrade to the Dynamis. If they made that be able to have loads of loads of loco addresses on it and stuff, would you ever upgrade to the Dynamis? I've got a Dynamis in the shop. I wish I knew how much they will buy. Second-hand one, not a new one. Oh, look at this, half an hour to go, everyone. Can we do it? We are really cutting it fine for time here. Yes, I just don't like the dynamics personally. If I had an RC antennas instead of IR receivers, possibly like kit, but the IR method isn't reliable enough. I've dynamics for years, loved it, would still be using one, but Aeropark came with an NC power cab. Yeah, so I've known people to have different experiences with the dynamics and liking them and not liking them. I think I have seen more liking it than not. Sunlight can break line of sight, just being 1 degree off breaks line of sight. Humans cause broken line of sight, too many factors stop it working effectively. Oh, well, it'd be fine here then, I don't have sunlight. I wanted to drop those. Definitely wanted them to land on my feet as well. So the most annoying thing about all this wiring tonight is the fact that the point motors won't be. So the double slip will not work tonight because it relies on the frogs changing, which we can't do until we put the point motors on. Of course, the fact I'm wiring up the double slip now is what made me think of that. Oh, that bandage means something happened. Hope you're okay. Glad to catch you in the stream. Hope you're okay. Very good evening, Andy. How are you? I am well. Yes, you missed me cut myself open earlier. There's some blood all over. There's blood all over my hand. There's blood on the top of the layout. 113 live streams and it finally happened. Fair enough, those like it. I just wish there was an RF variant available, which, without having to mod it, seems expensive to mod in a different connection type. No, I agree. That would definitely be better. I'll be honest, I'm surprised it's not all just Bluetooth. That's what most things are these days, isn't it? Oh no, it was a big thing to say. It didn't happen. Yeah, I know, Killian. I know. I had to admit it eventually. Stream rated half a gore. I'm well. Glad you seem contained. I am now. Yes, we did have to have a pause in the stream whilst I went and wrapped myself up. And we have reached the last panel that needs wiring. That means we have 3 wires to go. And with 25 minutes left, it seems very likely that wheels will turn on this layout tonight. This plaster now is just covered with a fine film of flux all over it, and it is so slippery. It does not make working easily. Yeah, Bluetooth would be good, just anything more reliable than light invisible to human eye where any obstruction could spell disaster. So I don't see how they could have got infrared that wrong. It is, after all, how remotes have connected with TVs for a long time. Just don't remember having any connection issues with it. Plus, Bluetooth, you could have the option of phone app control The children have their phone super glued to their hands. No, you'd need to charge extra for that. You can't put that in as standard. Don't be silly. But at the same time, I'd be totally down for that as a feature because it makes multiple controllers so much easier. How did I have you both hooked on here so well a minute ago and now I can't? This is annoying. That's it, that's the last proper soldered. Now let's turn it the right way. No, let's do this because I'm going to have to move the soldering iron before flipping it back up. So let's strip the ends off these. And put some solder on them. And then I can turn the soldering iron off. As well as putting it back without dropping it and burning myself, which I definitely didn't do. Oh yes, the anvil's on the floor, so I can take the pin out of the flux and wipe all the excess flux off it and drop it in the anvil. Put the lid on the flux, put the solder and the tape and stuff away. I've forgotten one. How did you still let me forget one? Let's turn the iron back on and get the solder and the flux and the tape back out. And yes, it is the opposite one to the green one we forgot. I can't believe you let me do that. Yeah, I can. You're all terrible people like that, aren't you? Dastardly people. Yeah, I thought so, Javier. A lot of you. There we go. That's the last dropper. Oh, well, it's dreaming it. A decent wireless DC controller with the option of a physical controller. If I remember, I might shoot back with an email tomorrow to suggest the changes. You do that. It's not a complete dream. What you want to be looking out for is the Blue Lightning models, DCC01. There's definitely some out in the wild. I can't give you more information than that, but it has everything you're after because it was designed to have everything that you're after. And they were only 45 quid brand new. I think the rarity makes them worth a bit more than that these days. Don't blame me, I don't know what's going on. But we're turning our lots of droppers into just 2 wires. That's what's going on. Now we can lift the layout up. Come back to our 2 wires there. I don't need that whole thing right now. Unscrew those ones. Screw those ones in, plug that into there. Like roots contained underground. They are, aren't they? Plug that into there. These grey ones go into the power brick. Doesn't help myself. Salute. Practice and a decent soldering iron. That's all you need. That's not good. Oh, that's bad. I was pressing the wrong button. It's flashing at me and I don't know why, but we apparently have power. Is that a lens controller? It is a lens controller. I don't remember this E ever being supposed to be flashing. Part of me is wondering if it's not actually providing power to the track. But my track tester is not in here right now. I don't know where my track tester is, to be honest. So there's a good chance I'm going to press buttons here and nothing is going to happen. So do not be surprised if I press buttons and nothing happens. Much as expected, nothing happened. That was the noise of a short circuit, I heard it. You would like to think I have a meter with a beeper, wouldn't you? I do not. She's definitely got a short circuit though. Somewhere. Isn't that wonderful? Excuse me, plug, I turned you off. You shouldn't still be going. There we go. Right, I have unplugged the track from the controller. Yeah, that's a short circuit. That meter doing anything means we have a short circuit. So that's great. With 10 minutes to go. That doesn't spoil our fun at all. If you'd like to make a complaint about this turn of events, please make your complaint out to YouTube. One YouTube stream. YouTube land, YouTube. Hydration is important. I am going to remove the connections to the double slip. I have no reason for believing it's the double slip, but I bet it's the double slip. This is why I use panda blocks now. Too much effort. Disprove short circuits. I disapprove of short circuits. Long circuits are the best sort of circuits. What, like Le Mans? Yeah, Le Mans, exactly. Long circuits. See, Le Mans isn't that long a circuit. They just go round it a lot of times. Right, with that one removed, we shall reattach this one. Dear me, why things like double slips are one more reason I don't do DC. I don't think they're any easier in DC, to be fair. It's long compared to Bristol or Martinsville, which are half-mile ovals. Well, yeah, but I can think of a lot of things that are long compared to half-mile ovals. I mean, my trip to Tesco is longer than that. I was genuinely worried that having a double slip would result in me messing up the wiring somehow and us getting short circuits all the time and never quite working out why. And that is the only reason I am removing the double slip. I have no logical reason to believe it's the double slip, but it's probably the double slip. If only I could get it off. I think at this point the easiest way of getting that off is like that. There we go. Let's get some tape over those. Don't go to Tesco 500 times in 3 or 4 hours. Well, no. That is true. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have been brave enough to use a double slip. Well, I needed to, quite simply. I wouldn't have got everything I wanted in without one. And whilst you may be right that I don't go to Tesco 500 times in 3 or 4 hours, when I think of long circuits, I'm more likely to think of, say, the Nürburgring than Le Mans. Which you're just not going to get round 500 times in 3 to 4 hours. Because that is a long circuit. And one day, when the world is opened up again, I will drive to the Nürburgring in my van, and I will drive my van around it. It was not the double slip. We still have a short circuit. Rip Sabine Smith, indeed. Could you have possibly reversed a wire somewhere by accident? I have already checked that. That was the first thing I checked. Red, green, red, green, red, green. Nothing. Red, green. Red, green, red, green. Red, green. Red, green, red, green, red, green. Everything is the right way round. Are there jumpers under the point? Any of the points that need to be... Oh my god. I know what it is. This is definitely something we should have picked up earlier. I put metal fish plates on this frog. That's all on me. We have no short circuit. That was it. I don't care that it's now midnight. Or a minute to midnight. We are going to make something run. Wheels will turn. Oh, that was a nice quick fix. It was indeed, and it was you in saying about jumpers under the points that made me realise. So, well done, Killian. So for anyone that thinks I'm actually good at this and I don't just blag my way through it every week, there you go. Wheels will turn. Easy done though, to be fair, especially with a distraction. Or 11 distractions currently. Right, one last check. We have no short circuit. Come back here, controller. That's surely the hardest part of the layout. No, the hardest part will still be the double slip, which we now definitely can't run anything through because it's got no wire into it at all whatsoever. Right. That's not gone in properly. That has. has. That has. The E is no longer flashing at me like I expected. Now, there is a very good chance this is going to get to here and die because there is no power. And the track's probably a bit dirty, but I promised wheels would turn tonight. And wheels are turning. Once we got the point motors in, those points will be fine. The Everone running, wheels deterrent movement, although the locomotive could do with a stay alive. No, the locomotive could do with the track being finished wiring. That's what the locomotive could do with. We did it. It is 5 past midnight, but we did it. Wheels have turned on South Park Quarry. Probably needs the track cleaning as well, James. Look, I bought a track rubber with me. Congratulations. Huzzah, I say huzzah. Yes, huzzah muchly. Oh, I am feeling rather chuffed right now. I am very happy. Okay, we didn't get it done in time to get the Peckett out and get some wagons on. But, you know, we've got time. I will get the double slip sections back on the bus wires during the week. And then we can potentially have a bit of a play next week as well. And in theory, you know, if the point motors are on there, we can have a proper play and things won't die. Mention regards Killian for making things click to fix the thing. Exactly. Thank you, Killian. We would not have had running this evening if it was not for Killian. So, very well done there, Killian. We did it. We were successful. A train moved. My help was accidental as always. But clearly you have some knowledge in there to come up with these things to accidentally help with. So well done for that. And thank you. So I'd like to remind you all, hydration is important. Bravo, good sir. Thank you, Javier. Approving James and things not dying. Indeed. So yes, thank you for coming, everyone. We have once again managed to fulfill a stream promise of getting things to move. I am very, very happy right now. You know, I can't wait to get on with this more. I said at the start of last week's stream that I wanted it I wanted to make wheels turn by the end of this stream, and we've done it, and I'm so chuffed. But we have done it, right at the end. We had to stay on 5 minutes because I'm an idiot and didn't use insulating fish plates when I should have. Never mind, it's all sorted now. Alright, it's been rather Gucci. Have a good long relax in relief of things working. I will try. The problem is, I have a shelf full of repairs to get on with. Because last week at the shop was very busy for repairs. But yeah, so right now, from the O-Class that you have now all seen running on the live stream, and from me, it has been wonderful to have you here. Thank you, everyone. I've been Gary. This has been Let's Build. You've been awesome as always. Good night.